Hey guys, I'm down here in Byron Bay, northern New South Wales, Australia, and I'm going to catch up with the most interesting character to ever come out of professional surfing, Brad Gerlach, and I can't wait to get him on the Occ-Cast.
Oh God, there's too many jellyfish.
It's such a wonderful life. It's such a wonderful life. It's no fool's paradise. It's such a wonderful life.
Hey guys, welcome to another Occ-Cast. We're at Byron Bay on a rainy day, and nothing better than a chat on a rainy day, and I couldn't think of anyone better to have a chat with today than Brad Gerlach.
Hey, buddy.
Ger.
How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm
Thanks
excellent.
for being on the Occ-Cast.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I've been wanting to get you on my Occ-Cast for ages, and I didn't think that it'd be in Australia.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah.
you've had a dramatic life change.
Yeah.
You live in Australia now. Tell
Yep.
us more.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky enough to meet an Aussie Sheila
Wow.
in LA, of
In
all
LA,
places. And yeah, fell in love with her, and we got her pregnant. And and
you had a baby.
and then yeah,
Congratulations.
we had a baby boy
Baby boy, name?
3.5 weeks ago. His name's Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. Wow. 3.5 weeks ago. It's a
Yeah.
freshie.
Yeah, fresh little guy. And
Wow.
yeah, we just decided to move to Australia because of, well, the way she works. She has she does sales. She does eyewear, luxury brand eyewear. She goes around Australia and New Zealand.
What's that
she-
called?
Well, it's just her agency, but she
Okay.
has 3 different brands.
Oh,
One's
okay.
called Barton Pereira. The other one's a French fashion line called Terry Lazari, and then she just picked up another one called Yoji Yamamoto.
Okay.
So yeah, they're
Yeah.
really and I was rather than
Where have you moved to?
moved to Torquay.
Torquay. Wow.
Yeah, she's from Melbourne, so
Ah, she's from
we
Melbourne.
thought let's move there. We thought about moving here,
Yeah.
but we know so many people around here that it's going to be pretty. We kind of wanted to. We lived in LA and it was pretty social, and you end up going every night. It's like somebody's birthday or
Yeah.
going to dinner with this person, going to dinner with that person, and we found after a while we're like, oh, just want to chill at home, relax, and it was tough to do in LA and traffic, and it was fun when you're single, you don't care, there's a bunch of girls around and art shows and music and stimulation and lots of friends and really fun, lots of energy, and stimulation and inspiration, but we're both inspired by each other, so
Yeah.
we moved to the country and she's a musician, so
Oh, wow.
yeah, so we play music
Yeah,
together.
because
and-
you're right into music.
yeah. She was in a hardcore thrash
Was
metal
she?
band, and
Wow.
I was, and I didn't know that right away. And after a while, she was like, "Yeah, I was in a band." She's pretty humble, and
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, really?" And this guy was in the band too. He goes, "Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, she's good." But
I've heard her.
I go, "Oh, do you have any?" She goes, "Yeah." She puts it on, and it's like, I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm playing guitar and singing." I'm like, "Man, I love you, and
Yeah.
I kind of love you a little bit more now."
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to you. When you were a baby, where did you grow up? Let's start from your nappy days. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You've got a good memory.
Yeah. Well, my parents moved around a lot. My
They did,
mom
okay.
was a professional water skier, and
Where were you born?
Miami.
Miami,
Beach.
Florida. Wow.
Yeah, and my dad and my mother were. My dad was a diver. My mother was a professional water skier. They met at these water shows.
Okay.
She also did synchronized swimming, water ballet,
Wow.
and stuff. So basically, they met there, and then not in
They moved
Miami.
around.
They met somewhere else, but
Okay.
like they would travel around a little bit. And my mother
Okay.
was pretty hot, and dad was a pretty handsome guy, and
No, yeah, well.
yeah, well, and so they, and then I was born in Miami, and then we moved to like Chicago, and then we moved to like Jersey, and then we ended up out in LA. I lived in LA for a little while. Then they got divorced around when I was about 7, and we moved down to San Diego. And I tried surfing. I tried it. I bought a surfboard for $7.
$7.
Yeah, because for my 8th birthday, I used to get like I used to get $1 for every year. I was like, fuck, when I'm 50, I'm gonna get $50 for my birthday. I used to say that. Anyway, spent $1 on the ice cream man, and then I had $7 left over, and I bought this surfboard,
No
you know?
way.
And
Change from an ice cream? Are you kidding me?
yeah, exactly. And I went down to the beach. My dad took me down, and it was one of these windy days. I didn't stand up, and I was 8, and I didn't even, and I came in, I go, you know, the
like
board's like yay big or whatever, and I'm like, it's not that fun, Dad. I don't really want to do it. He's like, okay.
Wow.
So I didn't surf again until I was 10.
Until you were 10?
Yeah.
1976?
Yep.
And then how'd you get hooked on that time?
I walked down to the beach. My parents moved down closer to the beach, and I walked down to the beach on a summer day, and with my friend, and there was a surfboard on the sand there with no skeg in it, no fin in it, and I just asked everybody, whose board is that? I was one of those things that just stuck. It was just, I couldn't let it go. It wasn't like, oh, my friend kept saying, who cares? Like, let's go swimming now. What do you? And I was like, no, there's a board there. And I just had this sense of like, it was nobody's board. It was like one of these boards they throw off the cliff, or I have no idea. It had a picture of Jesus on it too. It's pretty kind of trippy. And so I
Spiritual,
I grabbed it and I took it out and I stood on it, and it started,
Turning by itself.
Yeah, because, no skeg on it, so I started,
Oh, yeah.
and I like went, oh, this is so fun. I got that $7 board at home. I just took off and ran all the way home and got my other board, and I started surfing that same day, and kind of like, it was before school, like in the summertime, and August is summer over there. And I was just kind of like, hey, if I surf every day, I'll be the best surfer in 5th grade. All the chicks will dig me. I got it all planned out, man. And so I just started then,
Well, that's crazy, because, like, you turned pro and pretty much went on tour in 1984.
Yep.
And that's so short, because you started surfing in 1976. That's less than 10 years to get on tour. I've never heard of anything like it. That's so short. That's crazy.
Dane Reynolds, I think, started at like 12 or something. That guy was gnarly at 8. I mean, like,
and he was ripping by
10 years old, I think, is a really good age, because you're coordinate. I played baseball, football, soccer. I was really sports, person. And at about 14, I got in trouble. I got really in trouble with my mom, and she's like, "You're moving with your dad to Arizona."
Oh, jeez.
No, I was like, my career's over. I didn't even have a career yet. I was just like, my career's over, and I was like telling everybody, I have to move to Arizona. I was like, I'm so bummed, and so I moved out there. It was
Arizona.
It was a whole experience. The first day at school, I walked into school. I got like blonde, like full bleach blonde hairs. I got OP trunks, shorts on. I walk in, and everybody just goes zzz, like this, and I'm like, oh,
I'm done.
that's a surfer guy. The surfer guy, they're all chewing tobacco. And so during that time, my best friend tells me, and I'm talking like, how is it out there? It sucks here. There's no waves. Like, wow, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, John, this guy I looked up to is John Glom. Maybe you know John? You know John Glom?
Him, yeah.
Anyway, he's a really great surfer. I love the way he surfs, and he's just like a guy I looked up to. He's only 4 years older, but 14 to 18 is like a big,
big one.
you're like,
big guy.
Guy could drive, all that stuff, and muscles, and you don't have muscles yet when you're like, there's that point when you haven't, the testosterone hasn't hit yet, you're like, getting snapped, punched, and just all these things, but my friend tells me, he goes, Nectar Surfboards is starting up a mini Hoonie team, and they're going to pay for our contest and take us all over. And I'm like,
and you're in Arizona.
My ship's sailing. My ship's just sailing away. There it is. There's my chance. Like, it was I was like, whoa, it's so good to have had that kind of fear of like, it's going to, and so
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I have to do everything. What can I possibly do to get back there? I have to, like, it's the mother of invention, right? And necessity. And so I talked my friend into letting me live back at his house. I moved back there, and then the second day I was back, I was surfing, and I saw John, and my friend and I were out surfing, and I was just trying to surf as good as I possibly could. And
because the bus is leaving.
because the bus is leaving. And then I remember we used to all put our boards on this ice plant area, and and I remember John coming up to me and going, "So, you gonna ride for us or what?"
Oh, no.
And I was just like, like that, like,
Yes.
chills, and like, the
Yeah.
sun, the music started playing, the whole thing. I was like, and so I ended up
That's where it
riding for the
started.
team. That's where it started. And he had this brown, van, 70s van with carpet in it, and 8-track tapes like Led Zeppelin, and like when he drove us to all the contests where I first saw Tommy surf.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who's that?"
Tommy
And
Curran.
Tommy Curran.
Wow.
I was like, "All right, let's see it," because I'd seen his name and all.
Yeah.
In the magazine they used to just print who. I'm like, kept seeing Tom's name everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Who's that guy?" And the classic was they used to have these divisions where if you won your division, you would have a superheat at the end. So all the different,
they all
so it would be
joined.
the Grom, the junior, the men,
They all
the
have a
senior
final,
men, and
yeah.
they'd have a final together. It was called the superheat.
Yeah.
And the waves were pumping. And I remember
Whereabouts?
it was at Ventura,
Ventura.
like where cut the Ventura WSA. And his mom ran the contest. Right?
Tom Curran's mum.
Tom Curran's mom. Yeah, she ran it, and Joe was like a little shit kid that would.
Oh, his younger
yeah,
brother.
like missing teeth, and like, "Hey Joe," and he was like he was just a a crazy kid. But I remember that the heat was over, and his mom goes, "No, there's a set coming. Let's just wait till the set's over." And I was all,
How do you do that?
"Is that
Legal?
I'm still like a young
Yeah.
person, not really knowing the rules." And I'm like, oh, they wait for sets? That's cool. And then Tom got a bomb and he won. And I was like, wow, that's kind of sick. Well, and then I never did it from of course.
No,
It never
never happened again.
never happened again. So it was a kind of a crazy,
He
hard-
does.
But I had
That
so
guy
much-
does not need extra time.
And this one he did, but like,
Yeah.
but that was like so going to the contest in this brown, 70s van. My other friends were there. We'd wrestle, punch each other, and just boards. You just listening to music, laughing, having the best time ever. It's all I did every weekend. I couldn't wait for the weekend. Couldn't wait to go. I would get like, third. I'd get second, and sometimes get first. I just wanted to win every time, and then everybody faded. And
Why?
I don't know. They just stopped surfing contests,
Oh,
and
they
they
did.
they hit the teenage year, and they just stopped. And I'm like, wait.
It can happen, hey. At
And
that
I
age
kept-
with
and I
people.
kept
You
just-
kept prodding. Yeah.
Going like that. And I moved to my mother moved to Las Vegas and
Whoa.
with her boyfriend, and I was going to move with my friend, but my dad said, "Oh, I'll come down." So I moved in with my dad.
Oh, okay.
And
At
then
what age?
at
then?
15.
Your dad left Arizona.
My dad left Arizona
Ages,
back.
yeah,
Yeah, he was just
okay.
there for his work for
Yeah.
like a summer.
Yeah.
And then, I lived with my dad from 15 onwards, and
Okay.
and then I met you like not too far, probably when I was 17-ish.
We probably first met on tour, right?
No, we met
No.
we met when you came over, and you and Bob.
Hurley.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
and Bob and me and maybe Lesher went somewhere together. We surfed, and then we went somewhere to get. You were like really into ice cream, and I remember you're like, "I want to get an ice cream. I want to get an ice cream," and I was like, "I want to get ice cream too. That's cool. Yeah, let's go get one." And we just, I don't know, we were
It
with
would have
those.
been a pre-Huntington contest, probably.
Yeah, it was some.
In between contests, maybe.
Yeah.
So we probably first surfed against each other
Maybe there.
in '85 at maybe the Caton at Huntington Beach.
You
on the
and
other
me
side.
have not.
Had many heats.
I don't really remember.
many. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
You know why?
we just didn't.
We just missed each other.
Yeah.
You know why? Because usually when you were doing good in the contest, I would lose early and vice versa.
Yeah.
And back then too, it was top 44 or
No, it was top 30.
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 30. Yeah. So I mean, I was thinking that's more guys than they have now, which isn't really. Anyway.
I'll tell you like a good one was, so the first contest I surfed in was the OP Pro in '84,
84. Yeah.
and then the next event was at the Record Bar, at
Florida.
in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was like, Wrightsville Beach, and then the contest was here. But
Yeah.
down the way, there was this like jetty that wasn't it kind of didn't quite submerge, and there were these waves that were going bang, bang, and they were bouncing
Wedgie.
off of it.
I remember.
And I walked out, and I was walking with Willie Morris, and we were walking out, and you were out there, and you caught a few waves, and I'd never seen anybody surf like the way you surfed. I loved what you did with your head. Like you didn't, everybody else was doing the tuck thing,
Yeah.
and you were keeping your head over this way, and then your body was going around it, and it looked so cool, and I was like, fuck, that looks rad. Yeah, I remember thinking, I'm gonna bite some of that.
Bite some of that
I'm
off.
gonna take some of that. So sometimes when I come into a backside, like if it's a right, and I come into it, I'll definitely take a page out of your book. I go into it, and then I leave my body open like this, and I go, woo, and I throw my hip this way and go, woo, and I look that way.
All the way, and let your
I
body
don't
go
go
with it.
like
Yeah.
that. So it's like it's a something
a little throwback.
something I got from you, that I loved. My dad, my dad and I would watch you a lot.
Yeah.
And my dad thought that he's like,
Did your dad surf?
Never.
Never.
Yeah.
Wow.
He surfed once in Waikiki, and he
Oh,
said
okay.
the first wave he got, he said he just popped up. He goes, oh, this is easy, and he rode it.
Right, as it is.
Yeah, and he goes, oh, this is so easy. And then the next one he said he said the board like nosedived or something, went up in the air and landed on his shin like those heavy, boards in the 60s.
Oh, what a crap.
That was his last wave. The tour started in Japan in May in '85.
Yep.
The
tour did. Yeah.
Yep. And what I remember was, because you were the man, you were the guy, you and Tommy were the
Tommy
two.
Curran,
You were the two.
We
And
had
you
the
were,
rivalry,
and you
don't
were
we?
fucking younger than me, which was pissed me off too. And I was like, fuck.
2 months. No, come on.
No, but I just,
Yeah.
are my age,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
back
right.
then,
Yeah.
you just think, well, you're comparing yourself to everybody.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah,
good
yeah,
enough?
yeah,
Am I
yeah.
not good enough? And that guy's doing this, and
Yeah.
I could, So I started the tour in May and in '85, and
Yeah. Japan.
it was in Najima, and there was this little bowlie left, and I remember your friend was in the heat with me, and I don't know if it was.
Greeny.
It was one of you. It wasn't Greeny, but it was one of your friends, because you had come down to
did.
that limestone sand.
Yeah, yeah.
You actually come down to help him. I saw you, and I was like, I'm gonna surf more radical than I've ever surfed right now. Like, and I really appreciate. At the time, you're like, but you really appreciate that kind of internal drive and where that takes you, and so
Yeah.
So
I used
kinda-
to love that too. When I was that age, I used to love when there was more people watching, and like the focus was on the new free surfing or competing, and it made me surf way better. At the end, it wasn't so much like that. It was like more nerves, but it was weird, hey.
And then that
You got on the
year, I
roll.
won the stubbies.
You got on the roll.
Yeah, I won the stubbies, and then once I won the stubbies, then following I came to, then the end of the year was here,
Yeah.
right? The 3 contests,
Yep.
and then and I qualified. I got 27th, and then that next year I went
On the roll.
9th. I got second in South Africa to
Yep.
Sean Fucker
Sean
by
Thompson.
.1, one of those weirdo.
Johnson
All my friends are like,
500,
you won,
yeah,
and
wow.
whatever. Got
Yeah.
second. Then went to the Gunston and missed the first 6 minutes of my heat
Oh, you're kidding me. And still
and
won the
lost.
heat.
No,
And
I lost to
lost.
Cadden. I lost to Stuart Cadden
Stuart Cadden.
by this
Oh,
much,
wow.
and then won the contest like 2 more times in the future, because that
Yeah.
right was just sort of, it was
Very
just.
funny.
But I went to number 1 right then.
Yeah, you did.
So 2 years out of high school, I was number 1 in the
Number
world,
one,
and I
you
was
were.
like,
Yay.
fuck you guys. Fuck all those people that said I'm never going to make it. It was a
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
killer experience. I want to say like 2 really funny things. One was Kong when he said the soft cock thing, and I paddled up to him at Bell's. I was like, and I didn't talk to Kong, because
Yeah.
he didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah,
and
yeah, no.
He just was. He wasn't, somebody that I ever even talked with. And I said, hey, you think I'm a soft cock? And he goes, yes, sometimes. And I went, sometimes? Fuck off. You're a soft cock too sometimes. Fuck. It was a funny answer. It wasn't like, it
wasn't like-
no, he wasn't like, yes, you're definitely a
Yeah,
soft
yeah.
cock. He was kind
Yeah,
of
to
like,
think about it.
yeah, sometimes. I'm like, well, fuck.
He had to back himself up.
Yeah. And then the other funny one was, and this involves you, and this was in 80, right? The qualifying year, 85, yeah. And it was the stubbies, then it was the bow repairs, and then it was the bells. And at the bow repairs, I stayed with Sarge.
Yeah.
And Sarge asked me, I was like, you want to commentate this wet T-shirt contest, And I was like, sure, I'll do it. So I get up there to do the thing. It's it's the whole thing.
Is it in Cronulla?
You might remember this, but
I think I do.
I don't know what to say to these chicks. They're coming out, and I'm like, oh, what's your favorite color? I've had a few drinks, whatever. And some chick goes, I go, who's your favorite surfer? And she goes, Occy's my favorite surfer. And I just went into a full imitation of you. I'm like, yeah, fucking whatever.
Everyone loved it except for me.
Except for you, yeah. And I didn't even know you were there, whatever.
I don't mind it now, but back then it was.
No, I know.
It rattled me.
No, I know. And so I didn't think two things of it.
Yeah.
But 3 or 4 of those chicks were giving me the eye, and I was like, I'm taking one of these things home, but which one, So I'm like, I'm in the T-shirt contest is over, and I'm in the back in the area where the girls are, and I'm like, that one or this one or that one, and then someone comes up and he goes, hey, Mark said so I wants to have a word with you, and this was right around the time you called the Wankers, and I think he had a thing with Ted Robinson.
Yeah.
So I instantly fucking puffed up, was like, oh yeah, he wants to have a word. I've got a bit of alcohol in me, and I'm like, fuck. I walk outside, I'm like, I look for you, and I'm like, yeah, what's up, And you immediately go, oh, Brad, I don't want to fight, it's not about fighting, and the way you did it, and everything, I went, oh. And you went, mate. You're doing it in front of my girlfriend in my whole hometown, could you just, and then you go, and you're not good at it, and you go.
Everyone else disagrees.
Everyone disagreed, and you go, and you're not good.
Brad, the kids, mate, surfing with the kids is so good, mate. It's so good. Yeah, it'd be good to see you, on tour. Morning.
You're good at surfing, though. You should just stick to surfing. And I went, okay, yeah, right, yeah, okay. I walked. I remember thinking, oh, fuck, he wants to fight. All right, fuck. I'm fucking, he's got the wrong guy. And then you just disarmed me with your beautiful spirit. And you're fucking, and I went, oh. It's fucking classic. That's there's a lot of good memories of that
I
time.
remember that vividly. Well, you know what? This next question is the $1 million question, because I've been wanting to know this ever since it happened. In 1992, halfway through the year, you decided to retire, to go rediscover your artistic side of surfing. Tell us why you decided to do that.
Well, you and Tommy had a bit of influence on me. You guys had taken off, and I'd seen footage of you surfing incredible waves, and we were traveling around on tour riding shit-house waves, and I was kind of finding a big contradiction within myself of the reason I wanted to be a professional surfer was to go get the best waves in the world, meet the hottest women in the world.
Which you were doing.
Which
you had that side covered.
Yeah, that side covered, yeah. But I wanted more time and really good waves, and I wanted boards designed for good waves. I mean, I was always trying to figure out a board to ride a shitty wave, and so I was looking over at you and Tom and just kind of going, I need to grow. Long story short, I also started playing music at that point.
Yeah.
And I got into a couple of bands, and that was a period of my life where I didn't surf that much, and I got depressed, and I did not know what to do when I was depressed. I was like, oh my God. You hadn't
had that.
I never had that, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do anything to make myself feel good. I started to feel this really heavy feeling. My room was a mess. My stuff was just, I kind of didn't know what to do, and then I thought, oh, you know what? I should just work out, because at least my body will feel good. So I started
did
to
that.
work out and I started to surf a little bit, and then I came back, and it was like a really crucial kind of time period. I gained a lot of compassion and depth through a lot of that. I became really good friends with Taylor Knox, and Taylor's really good friends with Parsons.
Yeah.
And Parsons always liked to surf Totos
The big
and everything.
waves.
And I'm like, all right, I'll go down there with you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck, I'll catch a couple waves, like kind of. And I had a lot of fun with Mike. I had like an easy rapport.
These guys are so opposite, but
We all had like he's very laps really easy and doesn't take himself too serious. Even though he looks like he's Mr.
does,
Serious,
yeah, he does.
and he is serious about
Yeah.
things, but he can laugh at himself.
He can.
And so we just had the best time.
Yeah.
And then he got a jet ski, and he's like, hey, and I tried to jet ski with Luke. I was
Ian.
over here
Yeah.
in like 2099
step offs or something.
or something. I did step offs
Yeah.
with Luke,
Yeah.
and when I got back, I was like, yeah, I know how to drive a ski. And
Yeah.
Luke's ski was really easy to drive.
Yeah.
And then Mike said, hey, want to come down? I'm like, yeah, sure. And Mike's ski was like super hard to drive. And I was like, oh no, I've bitten off more than I can chew here. I don't really like doing it. He's like, let's just do it. Let's just do it again. Let's just do it again. And we went a few days towing when it was only like 6 foot.
Just to
And like, it was,
practice, yeah.
not dangerous.
Yeah.
Made tons of mistakes, fucking ate shit, all stuff. And
Flipping the ski.
each time we were driving back from Mexico back to
Yeah.
the States, Mike would be sitting there going, God, when's it going to be 40 foot? God, it's going to be incredible when it's 40 foot. Man, it's going to be insane. And I'm sitting in the passenger
you're not
seat,
agreeing.
and I'm just thinking about that competition format that I'm running, and I'm not really thinking about it. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, he's whatever, 40 foot. He's not calling me. I don't fucking nothing to do with 40 foot. Like no way. And then one of the times I'm kind of like, because he keeps saying it, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
He wants me to go.
who's he going to call?
You're his partner.
He's going to call me because I'm practicing with them. I'm first
You're
on the
just,
list
like,
of the
realizing
calls.
that.
And I'm sitting there going, like, am I signing up for something that I don't really want to be signing up for? Like, what am I actually doing here? And then I kind of had this thing where I was like, it's never going to be 40 foot.
You don't even get 40-foot swells.
It's not going to happen, whatever. And then sure enough, ding, 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 huge swell. And he's giving me like, hey, it's going to be big. Hey, it's going to be big. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, sure, yeah. And it was just like, I couldn't avoid it. And then we went down there and I was like, oh.
Todos?
Yeah, Todos. And I was like, oh my God, this is so scary. And then we just got onto a roll. And then we went every big swell. And then it was just like, dude, I was riding a 6'9" or something in like 40, 50 foot waves, and I was just going,
It felt good.
like having so much fun. And we were just laughing, and I was totally used to my board, and I felt really confident. And I was
what
like,
were you wearing? Sorry to interrupt, but you were wearing you weren't. There was Shane Dorian inflatable vest, wasn't it?
no, we just wore like life jackets,
Jackets.
life jackets, and we were like really unsafe. We were out there.
That's unsafe.
We were out there by ourselves.
Yeah.
We didn't have a support boat. We
right.
drove out there on the ski, cracking
you
jokes,
kidding me?
all the way out there. Oh yeah, nobody's out here. It's 40 foot. Nobody,
You
not
guys are
not one
crazy.
person. And we're just like, all right, fucking woo, and we just all the way. We're like, 2 more. It's getting dark, man. Just one more. And one time we were out there, and when we hit the fog. And then we got lost out there. It was the scariest moment, Occ. It was one of these moments I was like, we were kind of arguing. I was like, go to that light right there. We could see through. I'm like, go to that light. He's like, no, I think you go to this light. I'm like, no, let's go to that light.
And
I'm
the
like,
swell's
that's
40 foot.
And then we ended up, it was the biggest like swell of the year. And Todos has like the land goes like this, and then it comes out, then there's an island here. And we basically are like trying to go towards this light, and there's a light right here. And all of a sudden, it's all foggy, and then all of a sudden, woo, there's a big cliff there. It's like, woo, in the dark. In the dark. It's like, oh God, okay, concentrate. Like both of us concentrate, no jokes, just, and then I was like, okay, and then we basically went all the way along, all the way in, got all the way in. I was like, oh, let's try to like get back to the hotel that way. It was so gnarly. We just beached it. Went in our wetsuits, knocked on somebody's door. They got a phone call, and these guys come together. We were 23 miles off course. It was so gnarly, dude.
Where'd you end up?
We ended up on this beach that was straight in on the other side of Ensenada, like way over it, where the hotel was far.
Yeah.
And we get out of our suits till like midnight. You know, it's like one of these like, it was one of these ones where, and all we needed, because the ski has a compass, but it doesn't have a light, and we needed a glow stick or something to see the compass. Then we would have been able to get back, but we couldn't see the compass. It was like we were unprepared. We were just
you could make a
talking to
movie
each other like,
about that.
we were just talking to each other like, nice prepared job, huh? And we were both just giving each other shit like, fuck, we're out here riding. What a fucking bunch of idiots we are. Like, what the hell? Like, why do we have to do it? Why do we have to do it? What's wrong with us? You know what I mean? We got to be in the dark. Like, why don't we go in when we're safer? What is the? You know, we're just. Then we got in.
Good,
And,
it's so not
got a
made
couple
about.
tacos, couple beers, and we started laughing.
Laughing about it.
You know, like.
So radical.
So
what
radical.
a story. Tell us about Cortes Bank. It's 100 miles off the California coast.
Yeah, so that's
you guys surfed that.
Yeah, so
and
that
it was huge.
And so that wasn't that much long after we just started.
Okay.
So that was 2001, beginning of 2001. I think we towed the winter of 99 to 2000, and then over summer, nothing. Right? And then you're going into winter of, so it was only our second season, and Sean Collins and Flame were like, hey, you know,
It's gonna happen.
We're gonna expedition this thing, you know. And I will say during that period, I'm going to digress just a second. When I was in the depressed zone, playing a bunch of music, smoking cigarettes, just rock and rolling out, legs got skinny, you know, just you know, like really not in a healthy place. I remember seeing a photo of Pete Mel on a wave at Mavericks that looked like a mountain, and I remember looking at it going, I would never do that. No fucking way. And fast forward like 3 years later, I'm fucking on my way out to Cortez
Bank.
with
Way worse.
Pete Mel and Skin Dog, and we're on this boat, and I get kind of seasick, so I'm like, I'm gonna get stoned, you know, because if I get
You're not
stoned, then I'm like, I'm not seasick anymore, and I'm like, I'd rather be paranoid and feel good than be seasick, and then once I got stoned, I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm driving out into the middle of the fucking ocean with crazy fucking people. There's crazy Mike Parsons, crazy Skin Dog, and crazy Pete Mel. I don't belong here. Fuck, man. I mean, like, seriously, I'm having a moment where I'm like, how did I get here? I can't just bail out now. Oh my God, we get there, and like this, and it's like, I can't really sleep, and I hear the guy goes, there's waves on the radar, you know, and no, that's a breaking wave on the radar. It must be 1,000 foot. I'm like, anyway, it starts to get light. We got the skis, and they're going, and you know, it's going like this, and like, watch your fingers, you know, like I'm just like, you know, the 8 million pounds ski going there, like goodbye guitar playing and comfort for a while. How do I help? But, you know, like whatever. Get the skis in the water, and then we get all thing, and the waves are just, they look slow motion, dude. They're just, the sun's come up now, and there's just these giant like complete slow motion, you know, and I'm just like, wow, fuck. And the thing is thing's like so long. It's not like Toto's where it's a peak and then you're into the shoulder. This is just, it's just going. It's just long. And so anyway, Mike and I got into the water, and I got the first wave.
You got the first wave?
I got the first wave, yeah.
Jeez.
And
first wave ever to been ridden at Cortes Bank?
they had done another paddle thing with
they'd
Brock
done
Little and
something.
those guys,
Okay.
but it was the first wave of that expedition.
Yeah, okay.
And I kicked out, and I'm like, dude, I never gone that fast in my life.
Wow.
Like, you know what it's like? Dude, it's surfing. It's like, you know, it's like a woman, you know? I know what to do with a woman this size and everything. It's just a big woman, but I know what to do. I know how to grab it. It's just a big one. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's surfing. So you know what to do. You know how to set the edge. You know, like, I'm going too fast to just...
You can't turn right now.
So I'm just wipe some speed off. Anyway, the day got like glassy.
It was all time.
It was just like, it was insane.
But how big was it?
Well, Mike got
It's
a
hard to
wave
say.
that was like, I guess he got a wave that was, they measured at 66 feet.
Okay.
And I had ridden 7, Mike kind of like, I had a huge one, and Mike kind of like jumped the gun on it, and I missed it, and I was like pissed off at him. I was like, fuck, man, like, dude, fucking mellow out, man, just ease me into these things. You know,
Yeah.
like he got too excited,
Yeah.
so he felt bad. So he actually put me. I rode like 6 or 7 waves, and we switch after 3.
Okay.
But he kind of just put me into it. I kept paddling out. There was another one. There was another one. And finally, Mike goes, "Hey, could we switch? Because I'm worried about the wind." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." All right, and we switched, and that's when he got
the wave
big
came.
wave. And he had like, I think he had been sick, and like he wasn't feeling that great or whatever. And or I'm driving out, and these bombs are coming, and I'm like, I can see. So when you're on the ski, like the person you're in front, and then the person driving the ski, and then the back. So sometimes the person in the back sees stuff. Sometimes you see stuff. You're not on the same level. So we always would like, you know, kind of look back and be like, I'm like, you want this one? And we don't.
Second one.
That's the second one. No matter how many there were, it was always 2. Anyway, and I look back and there's a big bomb, and I go, you want this one? And he's like, 2, and I'm like, you fucking guy's such a nutcase. Fucking wants a bigger one. Fuck. Go over the thing just fucking so big, dude.
This one.
I'm like, all right. And I remember feeling like I was, like I said, I was a little pissed off with his driving. I'm like, all right, fuck, this is how you drive, dude. I'm gonna fucking put this guy right in the good spot. So driving was really fun. It was like, driving became like, if you're a giver, you know, which I am, you know, I was like, all right, I'm gonna see what. So I just drove this thing, turned him right around and just right into it, and he just got like the biggest, best wave, you know, and then later that day, it got glassy. It was just glassy, and what happens is, okay, so you got the reef here, and there's an inside, and then there's another one here, and then there's a bunch of other things going down over here, and what happens is, the wave over here goes kaboof, and it sends a side wave going. So one of the waves I remember, I was like totally in like that space of no fear, and my board was just absolutely perfect. My body felt great. I felt totally ready. And I got someone, I just let go of the rope, and I like came up this way like that, just waited. I waited until it got super steep, and I like one more steep, and then just went, and I felt like I was just like on my rail, just flying down, but just felt like I didn't have any ounce of like I might eat shit or like, you know, so my body wasn't in any kind of.
You're weightless.
Yeah, and my body wasn't in any kind of fight. It was like I was just with it, and it just on the edge. And then as I'm coming down, the side wedge is going this way, so I was just like, and I'd hit the side wedge and just go and just get like rocketed like the fastest I'd ever in my life. But just like kind of the same as that little wave I was telling you in North Carolina, right? It's just the same thing. This is a big woman, right? You know, it's the same. I know where to. I know how to. You know, so I did the same thing, and then the thing just. I put myself in a position where the wave, like, was going like this, and I was like, well, I'm gonna pull in. So you know, like, you know, at Inside Sunset, when you pull in there, it's an almond. You have to like pull in and keep going up. Yeah. So I just did the same thing. I just pulled in and went. I'm like, it might be a 2-foot hole. I'm gonna get out of that thing way up there. You know what I mean? So I was just climbing in there, and then I came out. That was the best surfing day
ever
of my
How
life.
did it feel, Brad? Like, just on the boat, what were you guys doing after that? Like,
it was
did you have beers on the boat? Was it a
it
party?
felt like, you know, when you won the Open, you know, it felt like that
must have
wind
felt
feeling.
Like that. Yeah.
We
You're on
went
the big
for
boat.
a month though,
Yeah.
and like we went
Off a month.
to the Sundance Film Festival, and I was at the
they showed the
Sundance.
footage. Because Mike won an award, didn't he? $66,000
He won.
for that?
He won the Big Wave Award.
The Big
that
Wave
year.
Award,
Yeah.
66 grand for every foot.
No, yeah, but then they just gave away. They gave away just $60,000.
Okay.
It wasn't per foot. It
Okay.
came later that it went per foot.
Okay.
And then so Mike and I ended up just doing that for a
You
while,
did.
and
You-
then
you
I won a
guys-
Big Wave.
You did.
And then I won.
2005, you won the biggest wave award for riding a 68 feet wave at Toto Santos.
Yeah, and so
Straight after that.
Yeah, and so when Mike won his, he halved the money with me.
Oh, he did.
What a legend.
What a
so
legend.
so when I won,
Back then, that's a lot of money, 30 grand.
oh, it was awesome. $30,000 bucks. We were like,
No one was winning that on tour. So you left the tour, and all of a sudden you get him a
Yeah.
bigger pay prize than
Yeah.
you would get on tour.
He's just such a, he's a guy's guy. He's a great person.
Yeah.
He's the person you'd want in your foxhole, and
Yeah.
he'd be the greatest, fighter pilot guy, Goose Maverick, whatever. He's just that guy. Like he thinks differently than I do, and we both have like, I'm the cultural guy. I'm the guy that meets the guy that finds out where the best spot is or whatever, and he just organizes all the ski and gets us make sure that we don't miss anything, So we have a really good relationship. But it felt great to win in
2005.
2005
Yeah.
because I won
It would've made-
68
it
and I gave him 34. I gave him 30. I go right back at you, babe.
Right back at you.
It felt so good,
Epic. And then you went into coaching, Brad.
Yeah.
You went into coaching yourself, and you are doing that as we speak.
Yep.
I mean, but as we speak too, I'll have to just go back a bit. You're still surfing so well.
Oh,
Those heritage
that's
heats.
not for me to say.
No, I know.
I
but
feel
you
good,
are,
but,
you are surfing so well. I mean, those heritage heats that WSL don't have anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had the one at Haleiwa.
Yep.
Ripping,
No,
even though
thanks.
you didn't catch a wave for like 20 minutes. But
Yep.
then you caught one and you absolutely ripped the bag out of it. And then you had
Thanks,
the one
buddy.
with Potts at Trestles, surfing really well.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I just want to throw it out there. Shouldn't there be a Masters tour? Just a few events a
for
year?
sure.
Like, I mean, there's me and you.
3.
There's Tom Carroll.
Just
there's
3. Just
let's
do
name
3.
some. Tom Carroll, Tom Curran, Barton Lynch, Damien Harden, Martin Potter. There's about probably
Michael
a dozen.
Ramelsi.
Michael Ramelsi.
You seen him surf?
Still now? Ripping.
Dude, I would not want him in a heat.
Yeah, right.
He looks
oh,
great.
there's so many.
Yeah,
So
there's
just throw
got-
it out there to the
Yeah.
WSL. There should be a Masters tour. We're ready, and
3
we want to go.
3 events.
3 events, world title.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
Don't
yeah.
you think?
Absolutely.
Hey, Brad. Thanks so much for the
Yeah,
chat. Hey,
yeah,
it's been
yeah.
epic. And
Yeah.
just to end, like, you look so happy right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
happy,
yeah.
so healthy. You're in Australia.
Yeah.
You must be stoked. You're going to coach? What else are you going to do? I mean, you're sitting in a beautiful spot.
Yeah, I just had a little boy.
Yeah.
And you did too.
Yep.
Yep. And you told me you've only changed one diaper, you lucky dog. But yeah, I'm just gonna raise my boy, and I've got an awesome, lovely, sweet, funny wife, and help her a little bit with her business, and then I had a couple of my students over during Bells, and I'll have them come and visit me a bit. I'll probably travel a little bit up to Indo maybe, and then in
Nice
the
and close.
meantime, I'm just kind of watching them weekly footage, and then I talk with them, on FaceTime or whatever, and so I coach out of home, and I want to surf a little bit more.
Yeah.
I didn't, living in LA for the last 12 years, I didn't surf, as much
You've got
as.
a lot of good surf where you live right now.
Yeah. So that.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, like, have you learned like a bunch of cool stuff by doing these Occ-Casts? Like, have you just have you just like.
I have, because obviously I was on the other side.
Yeah.
Where you're sitting right now. And I really have, I've learned a lot of stuff about myself, and to listen and learn about people, and it's great.
Everybody has a story about
Everybody's
you
got a
too,
story,
right? Like
yeah.
how they first met you, or
Yeah.
what you mean to them.
Yeah,
and-
I feel kind of like Ellen DeGeneres or something.
a bit more rugged looking.
A bit more. Thank you so much for being on the Occ-Cast.
Thanks for having
Cheers.
me. Real pleasure.
That's another Occ-Cast. Thank you for listening.
Oh God, there's too many jellyfish.
It's such a wonderful ride. It's such a wonderful